Today I'm putting together a video on the actual line-by-line cost of my build, because I got a lot of questions on that. So I thought I'd put together a quick outline on the actual build. They call it a BOM. Builder sends you out a bill of materials. It's a packet that gives you all the breakdown costs line by line. And I thought I'd share it with you folks because I got a lot of requests from different people on emails and comments about what my build costs. Not trying to be evasive on it, but the build fluctuates depending on your what you have in your line item and what you choose to actually use for that individual line. Windows is a prime example. You could spend, I've got 600,000 budgeted for it in pesos actually, but it's easy to double that amount on quality windows and doors. Not even trying hard, you could double that. So that doubles your cost just on that one line item. And you can just go down and with all the different line items and see what I'm talking about.
That is a picture of our house after the completion of construction. The rendering you see there was done by our builder. We still got to complete the exterior on it. It's not finished yet. We still got some type of either stonework or some type of cladding that we're going to put on the exterior, and we're working on that right now. But we still got plenty of time. One of the things I wanted to talk about before I jump into the numbers on this on the build is the exchange rate, and that exchange rate is really added to our budget right now. Exchange rate when we first got here was in January was significantly higher than it is now. So I plugged in a number of $48.50 as a rate. The rate's actually lower than that now, and I'm hoping that it stops because that's added right around 14K to our build, and had nothing to do with the price of materials, and had nothing to do with the builder or anything else, just the flat rate from your U.S. dollars when you take them from the states where we keep our money. All of our income coming in goes into our monthly payments go into our U.S. bank, and then we transfer the money as we need it here for our needs and construction costs. But every time I go to the bank to make a transfer, the rate continues to go down, and that adds a big cost. So that's something you have to factor in that I did not factor in to your build. Just assume that the dollar was a dollar, but when you're making your exchange right there, you don't see it so much on smaller items, but when you get into the big items, like the construction of a house, that really hurts. I'm just hoping that during the build period here, that rate will reverse itself and go upwards, and then we can start to take advantage of some of the savings on that. Because right now, if the rate continues to go, hopefully I'll have enough to finish my build, but you never know the way things are going. So let's jump into the spreadsheet and get started on that. If you jump under where it says scope of works, the first thing it talks about, the number one line item there is construction permits. Oh, before we go any further on that, I'm not going to talk about the highest cost on building a home out here in the Philippines, the price of your lot. And that lot can vary. It depends on whether you buy in Manila or Makati, or you buy in Cebu, or you buy in some rural province. That plays a big role on the cost of your overall build, because to me that was the biggest line expense that I had to put out was the price of the lot. And property in the Philippines continues to rise. We've already property in our subdivision has already gone up. So from the less than a year that I've been here, and it's going to continue to rise. So investment in the Philippines, property-wise, it's a good investment. So let's jump in that spreadsheet and get started on it. Scope of work. I mean, if you look at it, the construction permits and the occupancy permits, water and electrical connections, to get that started was $1,134. And what I've done here is I've got two columns. I've got a peso column, and then I've got a U.S. dollar column. So that lets you know whatever you feel comfortable with. You can either go to the far right for the U.S. dollars or drop down to the one right next to it which is the Pestle rate. I did a quick conversion, and the rate I'm using for my conversion is, like I said, it's $48.50. So keep that in mind that your numbers can fluctuate if you're doing a similar project to find out what your expenses are on the exchange rate, but just don't go thinking that you're in the U.S. and you're going to get dollar for dollar because, like I did, because you really don't factor that exchange rate in. And like I said before, in a small amount, not a big deal. But you get into hundreds of thousands of dollars. Doesn't take much for that percentages to rise up, and 10%, 12%, whatever that rate might turn into, turns out to be a lot of money. So next item on the line is your masonry costs, which include your cement, your white sand, your gravel, your 6-inch concrete hollow blocks, floors, your perimeter fencing with the concrete blocks for that, your C joist. That also encompasses all that, and it was 27,119 US dollars. And the next item is rebar. Rebar, it depends on what you want. You can go overboard, or you can go very minimal. But I chose to go somewhere in between. My build in general was based on a quality build, a good quality build, not a super high end build. Because, like I said before, each one of these line items that you have, you can either go under or go over. And if you look at the spreadsheet, you'll see asterisks next to the line items, and these are actual items that can either go up or go down depending on material cost, um, labor rates, which isn't the biggest primary concern in the Philippines because rates of labor are relatively inexpensive compared to any place else. But just factor that in. There are three big, or actually four big hitters on your on your property, or I should say on your bill that's not included in here, and I'll touch on those as we get into this later on. So your rebar, you got your 10 millimeter, you got your 12 millimeter, 16, 20, which we didn't use. You got your 18, your tire wires, and your assembly nails that go into that. Your line item number four, which is your ceiling, it also includes the external. Um, oh, I forgot to mention the price on the rebar. The rebar was $15,583, and like I said, I've got that spreadsheet on the screen too for you to view, just like I am. And your ceiling costs was $6,736. And the next item on that spreadsheet is your tile, and your tile goes for $6,180. And it shows the different sizes there that we're using for the floor. Again, my build's going to be approximately 300 and somewhere over 300 square meters, more like 309, not including the lanais or the garage area. The second one, the next item on that will be doors. And again, doors are another one of those items that have asterisks next to them, which allow for your price to fluctuate quite a bit because um, doors are expensive. Good quality doors are expensive, and I don't care where you get them, whether they're any place in the United States or the Philippines, the same. Especially the doors that are the door jambs, which are made out of mahogany, and even the doors that are made out of mahogany are expensive. So we're going to have one custom door in the front for a total of 18 doors through the whole house at different sizes. You can see on the spreadsheet, you got 70s and you've got the 90s and you've got the 80s. But the biggest ones, the standard size in the house will be 80s, and with the exception of the custom front door. And then item number seven, which is your stair hand railing and your balcony hand railing, fence steelwork, your sandyware, which is another name for anything that's in your bathroom, your faucets, your toilets, or your water closet set, whatever term you want to use for it. That cost comes. Well, your doors come out to $4,408, and your stair railing comes out to $206. The steelwork for the fence is $815, and your sandyware comes out to $2,194. And again, this is with that 48.50 rate factored in for the exchange. And item number 10 is your waterproofing. And it's got painting, septic, plumbing, electrical, your batter boards, your structural steel truss, your roof and insulation, your solar thermal for your heaters. You got some external stone cladding. Not all of it's in there yet. And for your automated RC gates, your garage door openers, and your cabinetry in your kitchen, closet, vanities. These are all listed on that spreadsheet. I'm not going to go through each individual line item and bore you. I just wanted to hit on the heavy hitters, but you can view at your convenience on that. That goes into it. And page 3, last and final page of the spreadsheet, covers the last few items that are left. Item 23 is consumables, equipment, depreciation, inflation, crew accommodation, utilities. That comes out to $29,747. And then you've got your miscellaneous markup of 5% for overcosts and material increases of $7,436.81. Then line item number 24 is windows and doors. And what I mean by doors are sliding doors that are made out of glass. They will come to a total of $12,360. And that cost will increase because I probably plan on increasing sliders, at least one, possibly two different sets, two different sets to increase the airflow and access to the house. And the 4 items that I touched on earlier that weren't included in the builds that add up very quickly are air conditioning units, not only the units, but the install costs on them alone. And there's somewhere of between 7 or 8 units. I have to have the folks come out and look at the plans and tell me what I'm going to need. Then you got your appliances, which includes your refrigerator, which include your ovens, your microwaves, your TVs. All that stuff is factored into that number. Anything that's electrical that you're going to be using in the kitchen and through the house. And then you got your furniture costs, which we both know that is a big area that of expense that can go way up depending on your needs and your preferences, your lifestyle. And ceiling fans. Ceiling fans are another item that are expensive because ceiling fans out here in the Philippines, good quality, 220 ceiling fans are going to run you, I'd say $200. From what I've looked at, the ones I like are $200 to start with, and they go up to about $400. Some of them go up as high as $1,100. That's not into my price range. So, folks, I hope you like what you saw today, and I hope you can learn from it or use it as a guidelines or a template if you choose to. But I wanted to share that with you so you'd understand what you're looking at if you decide to build out here in the Philippines. It gives you an idea of what my build is. So I hope that helped you. Stay safe now and take care. Bye bye.